Hello, everyone. This is Devin Jones with McDonald Financial Services. Here to give you an update of what happened last week in the markets and economically, politically. We'll get into some other things as well. But first and foremost, just want to let you know I am flying solo this week. I'm not going to put all of AJ's business out on the street. You can talk to him about that. But he's had some great news in his family. So anyway, just wanted to say congratulations to them. And like I say, you can ask AJ what he's got going on. I won't put that out there on the video. But anyway, let's get into kind of what we saw last week. At the beginning of last week, we continued to see the markets kind of digest the news that we had come out on Friday of the prior week, which is the jobs report, the week jobs report, actually. The market was expecting, or I guess the street was expecting, 60 to 80,000 jobs created, and unfortunately, there was actually 23 to 24,000 jobs that were lost. And so that's significant. Obviously, that's not good news because it does show that we've got some cracks that are starting to show. But as far as the market's concerned, as the old adage kind of goes at times, bad news economically is good news for the markets. It actually puts the Fed back on the sidelines, in our opinion. We've been kind of waffling back and forth, or are they going to cut rates? Are they going to raise rates? Well, I think what it does is it puts them firmly on the sidelines for a while. We probably won't see a rate hike, I wouldn't guess, at the next meeting in September, but we'll just have to wait and see. To continue on that, we did have the July CPI report that came in, and it came in just a little bit lower than what the expectation was. So again, we kind of continue to see the inflationary numbers cool. We had the July retail sales come in on Friday. Those numbers were a little bit lower than what was expected, and again, we're kind of seeing the bad news is kind of good news for the market. So we did see a decent week, I guess, last week in the market, but retail sales were the worst we've seen in a year. So obviously we're starting to see kind of the effects, in my opinion, of oil. One thing, a few of us in the office were out of the office at the beginning of the week because we were back at home office. We had our national convention, and I did listen to a speaker that put some of the things in perspective as far as oil goes. The higher the oil prices, it curbs a lot of the other spending that goes on, and I think we're starting to kind of see that. The inflationary numbers are starting to cool just because the oil prices continue to go up. And to kind of continue with that, as it kind of waffles back and forth, we do continue to see the peace deal with Iran continues to ebb and flow. I would say at this point in time, it's not great news, as we've kind of seen over the last 6 months. Really, this thing is work in progress. The war is by no means over. There was sure hope, I guess, in our last video that maybe that was going to get put to rest. Not the case. So unfortunately, that continues. Just some other news that we ran across here. Netanyahu and Israel, they had a falling out with the U.S. Trump's peace deal that they're trying to work out between Gaza and whatnot there with Hamas and Israel. That deal has fallen apart. Trump wants to see kind of a staged exit, and Netanyahu does not see it that way. So again, we continue to follow that, but that just continues to fuel kind of what's going on in the Middle East as far as it being fairly unstable, and that's why I think it's kept the oil prices up. We've seen this is the latest part in the year or time of the year where we've seen gas prices this high in a very long time. So again, we kind of continue to see the pinch, if you will, on the consumer. Let's see, what else did we have? We had a large earthquake in Colombia last week. I believe it was around 7.4 magnitude. So last count that I read, there was upwards to 400 people that were confirmed deceased, and somewhere around a number of 4,000 people that were injured. They continue to look for folks that are missing, so our thoughts and prayers are sure with that part of the world as those earthquakes. I guess they've had over 100 aftershocks, which has really kind of continued to suppress some of the recovery issues there. So again, our thoughts and prayers are with that part of the world. We did see, unfortunately, we got some news on former President Biden. His son Hunter came out and said that his cancer is spread from the prostate, from the bone, and it's now spread what I would assume is probably throughout his body, and unfortunately that's not good news there at this point in time. We did see Trump. He signed an executive order calling for fewer childhood vaccines. So it's not set in law, but so it is an executive order at this point. But I believe I saw the number is recommended 17 down to 11. And I guess the most significant thing that came out of that was the MMR vaccine. He's trying to, he wants to make that a 3-part vaccine as opposed to 1, so that parents have more, I guess, autonomy as far as which ones they choose to select for their child. Of course, I'm not going to get into the details. It's definitely a hot topic. Certainly no opinions here. Just wanted to bring that to your attention. I guess the last thing that I'll bring up, which was, I guess, fairly significant, is the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt. She has opted to step down from her post, and so we will see who now takes over her role. She's not leaving. She's not leaving the party. She's not doing any of that. She's stepping down, as she said. She's going to focus more time on family and whatnot. So anyway, we'll have a new communicator as far as that side of things go, and we'll see who they elect. At this point, it doesn't seem like they've got anybody chosen just yet, but I'm sure we'll hear some more news there. So that's about all we had. A little shorter video this week. Like I say, AJ's out of town, so next time you see him, ask him what developments he's got, and thank you all for watching. We appreciate it.